I sent my parents to jail. I was 17 when I finally did it. Most kids worry about getting grounded or having their phone taken away. I was worried about whether my parents would remember to feed me that week. It started when I was maybe 12. My dad lost his job at the warehouse, and instead of looking for another one, he decided selling drugs was easier money. My mom, who used to work at the grocery store, quit to help him. They called it running a business from home. At first, it wasn't that bad. They were just selling weed to their friends. But then it got bigger, way bigger. People I didn't recognize started showing up at all hours. Our house became like a 7-Eleven for drugs. I'd come home from school and find strangers sitting on our couch counting money on our kitchen table. My parents stopped caring about normal stuff. They forgot to buy groceries half the time. I learned to make dinner from whatever random cans were in the pantry. Beans and rice became my specialty because that's all we usually had. They'd sleep until 3 in the afternoon, then stay up all night dealing with customers. School became my escape. I threw myself into my grades because at least there, things made sense. Teachers started noticing I was wearing the same clothes multiple days in a row. Mrs. Garcia, my English teacher, would sometimes slip me granola bars from her desk drawer. She never said anything about it, but I knew she knew. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I got home from school and found my mom passed out on the bathroom floor. Not sleeping, passed out. There was a needle next to her. That's when I realized they weren't just selling anymore. They were using everything they made. I called 911. When the paramedics came, they found more than just my unconscious mom. They found scales, bags of pills, and enough fentanyl to supply half the town. My dad tried to lie and say it wasn't theirs, that someone must have planted it. But there were texts on his phone discussing prices and delivery times going back months. The cops asked me if I knew about any of it. I could have lied. I could have said I had no idea what was going on in my own house. But I was tired. So tired of living like this. So tired of pretending everything was normal when kids at school talked about family dinners and weekend trips. I told them everything. About the people coming and going. About how my parents had been dealing for years. About how they'd started using their own product. About how I hadn't had a real conversation with either of them in months because they were always high or paranoid or both. My mom survived the overdose, but barely. They both got arrested that night. The house got searched top to bottom. They found drugs hidden in places I didn't even know existed. Inside the walls, under floorboards, even in my old toy chest. My parents each got 5 years. Drug dealing, possession with intent to distribute, child endangerment. My mom cried during sentencing and kept looking at me like I was the one who had betrayed her. My dad just stared straight ahead like he was already planning his next move. I moved in with my Aunt Lucy, my mom's sister. She lived 3 towns over in a tiny apartment, but it was clean and quiet, and there was always food in the fridge. Real food, not just expired crackers and energy drinks. The weird part was how normal life became. I had a bedtime again. Someone asked about my homework. My aunt made sure I had clean clothes and lunch money. Simple stuff that I'd forgotten was supposed to be normal.